Welcome back to Revenue RX, the podcast at the intersection of pharmacy and finance. I'm your host, Lubna Mazin. Today, we're breaking down a core concept in pharmacy revenue cycle management: the different claim pathways used to bill medications. The billing pathway changes depending on where the medication is administered, who is administering it, what benefit is it billed under, and what type of organization is submitting the claim. Understanding these differences is critical because the claim pathway impacts reimbursement, denials, documentation requirements, prior authorization, coding structure, turnaround times for adjudication, and operational workflows. Today, we're walking through three major drug billing pathways: NCPDP D.0 for pharmacy benefits, the 837P for professional claims, and the 837I for institutional claims. Let's start with the pharmacy benefit claims. When pharmacies bill for prescription medications through a retail or specialty pharmacy, they are typically billing through a pharmacy benefit pathway using the NCPDP D.0 telecommunication standards. These standards were developed by the National Council for Prescription Drug Programs. This is the standard used for retail pharmacies, specialty pharmacies, mail order, and many outpatient pharmacies that are located within a health system. This is the pathway used when a medication is dispensed directly to a patient and billed through the Pharmacy Benefits Manager, also known as a PBM. Common PBMs include CVS Caremark, Express Scripts, and Optum Rx. In this workflow, the pharmacy submits a real-time electronic claim using the NCPDP D.0 standard. This claim goes to something called a switch. The switch then communicates to the PBM and receives a response about the reimbursement. Think of this as the electronic pharmacy claim submission sent from the pharmacy system to the PBM. The claim includes NDC numbers, quantity dispensed, day supply, DAW codes, prescriber information, pharmacy identifiers, ingredient cost, and the usual and customary cost, which is known as the cash price, as well as coordination of benefits. Unlike medical billing, these claims adjudicate almost instantaneously. Within seconds, the PBM evaluates eligibility, formulary status, prior authorization requirements, quantity limits, step therapy requirements, refill timing edits, as well as drug utilization reviews. The PBM then sends back a response that includes if the claim was approved, the patient's copay, the pharmacy's reimbursement, or a rejection or prior authorization is required message. This is why patients at a retail pharmacy usually know immediately whether a medication is covered. Pharmacies can also submit test claims in this system to get real-time feedback of whether a drug requires a prior authorization or not. Historically, pharmacy claims have also developed a paper backup process. This is called the NCPDP Universal Claim Form, or UCP. Think of the UCP as the paper version of the pharmacy claim transaction. While electronic billing is the standard, the UCP may still be used for retroactive billing, workers' compensation claims, or system downtimes or other billing issues. Now let's compare that to the medical billing side. The 837P, the P stands for professional, is used for claims billed under the medical benefit. These claims are submitted by physician offices, clinics, and individual healthcare providers. Think of this as a standalone provider's office or a private clinic that operates independently rather than as a part of a healthcare system. The paper version of this form is called the CMS 1500. This pathway is commonly used for provider-administered injections and physician office infusions. Instead of billing primarily with NDCs like the pharmacy claims, these claims often rely on HCPCS codes, CPT codes, administration charges, and provider documentation. Unlike the pharmacy claims, reimbursement is not immediate. These claims move through the medical claims adjudication process and may require medical necessity review, prior authorization review, clinical documentation review, and the payer reviews all of this information before the payment information is sent back to the provider. Similar to the 837P, we have the 837I. The 837I, the I stands for institutional, is used for claims billed under the medical benefit. These are facility or hospital claims. The paper form associated with this pathway is the UB04, also known as the CMS 1450. This pathway is used for hospital outpatient infusions, inpatient drugs, emergency departments, urgent cares that are associated with a hospital, and clinic-administered meds when that clinic is connected to a hospital. Institutional claims involve revenue codes, HCPCS codes, NDC reporting requirements, modifiers, and payer-specific reimbursement methodologies like the OPPS and IPPS. Now, here's an important takeaway. The exact same medication may travel through completely different billing pathways depending on where that medication is administered and which benefit is used. A medication dispensed through a specialty pharmacy will go through the pharmacy benefit and billed under NCPDP D.0. The same medication administered in a physician office not connected to a hospital will bill under the 837P for medical benefits. And if that same medication is administered in a hospital outpatient infusion center, it will be billed under an 837I under the medical benefit. Same drug, different pathways, different reimbursement models, different denial risks, different reimbursement, and different operational ownership. This is why pharmacy revenue cycle is so complex. It is interconnected and sits between two different billing worlds, the pharmacy benefit billing world and the medical benefit billing world. To optimize reimbursement, reduce denials, and improve financial performance, organizations first need to understand which claim pathway the medication is traveling through, and then work on operational workflows. Pharmacy revenue cycle is not just about billing medications. It's about understanding the systems, workflows, and financial pathways to determine whether organizations are actually reimbursed for the care they're providing. Behind every medication claim is an operational process, a financial decision, and ultimately a patient. Healing patients is the mission, protecting the margin is the strategy. Next time on Revenue RX, we'll continue the conversation by discussing the other side of the equation, which is the 835 remittance advice. As a reminder, this podcast is intended for informational and educational purposes only. The views expressed are my own and do not reflect or represent those of my employer or any affiliated organizations. This content does not constitute as legal, financial, or reimbursement advice. As always, please consult with your internal compliance, legal, and revenue cycle experts when making any decisions.